For me personally, it's not so enjoyable. When I sit in the car, I will always give it my best. Not really enjoyable.
Listen, guys, the situation at Red Bull right now is more dramatic than anything we've seen in years. Max is sitting P7 in the championship, his car died on the grid in Monaco, and now Barcelona is basically a make-or-break moment for the entire team. Today, we're breaking down the secret meeting, the nightmare, FIA ruling that left Red Bull completely exposed, and the contract bombshell that could change everything this summer. Let's break it down, but before, if you want more updates and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdown. The Monaco nightmare. So let's start with Monaco, because what happened there was genuinely painful to watch. Max had put in an absolute masterclass in qualifying, grabbing P2 on the grid right behind Antonelli. The whole paddock was buzzing. This was finally Max's chance to mix it at the front. Then the lights went out and nothing. The RB22 just died on the spot. And here's the part that'll make your stomach drop. Max literally said he was praying that the cars flying past him would go right and not hit him. He had zero power, was steering with pure wheel friction, and could only watch as Hamilton, Leclerc, and Piastri roared past. That's not a racing moment, that's a survival moment. Red Bull confirmed the engine had actually been showing warning signs as early as the formation lap, meaning there was absolutely nothing Max or the team could do about it. To make it worse, this was his very first engine of the entire 2026 season. Red Bull finds the answer. Now the good news, and there actually is some. Red Bull says they've identified exactly what went wrong with the power unit, and Max will be running a completely fresh engine in Barcelona. They've also confirmed a small upgrade package arriving this weekend, with a bigger one coming for Austria 2 weeks later. But here's where it gets interesting. Max himself has been very honest about what Barcelona actually means. He said high-speed corners have been Red Bull's clear weakness all season, and Barcelona is basically wall-to-wall high-speed corners. So this weekend isn't just another race, it's genuinely the first real test of whether Red Bull's upgrades are actually working or if they're just hoping for the best. The secret meeting. Okay, now this is where things get spicy, because after Monaco, the tension between Max and Red Bull management has been building for a while. Throughout this season, every time Red Bull said publicly that their upgrades were working great, Max would turn around and tell the media a completely different story. After the Japan update package, while the team was celebrating progress, Max flatly said the car still had huge problems. And remember, this is a guy who was sitting 113 points behind the championship leader in a car that keeps breaking down. So behind the scenes, conversations at the highest levels of Red Bull are reportedly happening, with Max demanding real answers on why the development has fallen so far behind Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren. This isn't just frustration anymore. This is a driver who wants accountability, and Red Bull knows it. Antonelli's dad drops a truth bomb. Hold on, because this next part is actually kind of beautiful. Kimi Antonelli has been absolutely on fire this season, 5 wins from 6 races, leading the championship by 113 points. The media is going crazy, comparing him to peak Verstappen, calling him the next generational talent. And then Kimi's own dad, Marco Antonelli, steps in and basically says, "Slow down, everyone." Speaking to Formula One magazine, Marco said the two families are actually close friends and even share a Mercedes GT3 racing program together. But when it came to comparisons, he was crystal clear. Kimi is fast, yes, but Max is on a completely different level as a driver right now. He said Kimi still has a very long way to go to even get close to what Max has already accomplished. Think about that. The father of the guy who is winning everything is openly saying Max is still the benchmark. That tells you everything about how the paddock truly sees Verstappen, even during his worst season in years. The contract trap. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Max's contract, because this is genuinely one of the most dramatic storylines in F1 right now. There is a clause in his Red Bull deal that allows him to walk away from the team if he is sitting outside the top 2 in the championship when the summer break arrives. Right now, he is P7, so that clause is absolutely in play. Here's the twist, though, and this is where it gets almost cruel. German outlet Bild is reporting that Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren have all privately indicated they have zero interest in disrupting their current driver lineups for Max. Mercedes are running away with the title with Antonelli and Russell. Ferrari just extended Leclerc long-term. McLaren are fully committed to Norris and Piastri, so Max could technically trigger that exit clause and find himself with almost nowhere to go. Aston Martin and Audi are the realistic options, but let's be honest, neither of those is what Max Verstappen is dreaming about. The FIA ruling that hurt Red Bull. And if all that wasn't enough, the FIA just made life even harder for Red Bull. Because of how the new ADUO engine upgrade system works, the FIA assessed Red Bull's power unit as the fastest on the grid. Sounds good, right? Wrong, because that ruling means Red Bull gets 0 upgrade tokens while Mercedes gets 1 and Ferrari gets 2. So while every rival team is actively allowed to make their engines faster, Red Bull is completely frozen. They cannot touch their power unit performance at all. For a team already struggling, that is a brutal, brutal situation to be in. The engine change strategy. And finally, the engine change situation ties everything together. Barcelona becomes a critical test, not just for the upgrade package, but for whether the new power unit is reliable. 3 engine-related failures already this season from Red Bull, and the team cannot afford another one while rivals are gaining ground every single race weekend. So here's the full picture. Max is carrying a fragile car, a frozen engine program, a contract clause ticking like a countdown clock, and 0 safety nets at rival teams. Yet somehow, with all of that stacked against him, the father of the championship leader still calls him the benchmark. Barcelona this weekend is massive. If Red Bull shows real pace in the high-speed corners, the comeback story is alive. If they don't, the summer break conversation is going to be very, very uncomfortable. My honest opinion, Red Bull has the smartest driver on the grid, and they are absolutely wasting him this season. And the question I want to leave you with, if Max does trigger that exit clause and no top team wants him, does he actually walk away from F1 entirely? Because he has hinted at it more than once. Think about that, and I'll see you in the next one.